imported. Takui from coming in from the LFL, and obviously Blue for basically being bottom of the standings in the LEC. But I think both have shut up the doubters pretty quickly. They both look pretty competent, and that's why they're not falling behind these early games like you're saying, Raz, because they're not getting outclassed.
We see the J4 ban go down immediately.
Right.
I only want to call it out. I only
Love
want to call it out just because that we've been seeing that more recently. We know that River will just counter pick himself to go on that pick and has still like absolutely beasted games. So
FlyQuest have done their homework.
Like, you know what?
They've done their homework.
We don't want it.
I'm kind of expecting a Thresh first pick just because Dignitas is one of the rare teams that, like, if you give them the option of Jinx and Aphelios, they're willing to trade. Because Neo is an incredible Aphelios player. We've seen that in the previous week. So they're just going to go Thresh and try and get the best of the...
I was about to say, they might go Caitlyn Lux, but then it gets banned out as well, because they're
Not
one of
allowed.
the few teams that feel like they really exploited Caitlyn Lux correctly.
Yeah, they actually know how to, A, get that bot lane ahead, like we talked about, get the push in bot lane, but then also rotate the Caitlyn around to take turrets. I also want to point out, taking away the Karma, not only is she great laning support, but additionally, she could have been part of a Smite support top. And Raz, you thought they might take the trade.
I lied.
So the Jinx and Caitlyn now off the table. One ban left to go for FlyQuest. They'll remove Hecarim of all things. But this does make me both very curious in what the ADC matchup will be. Are we going to see that Jhin come through across from an Aphelios? Will we see either of these teams go somewhere else? Well, Zeri is probably the answer to my question.
Yeah, right off the ban list. So the fact that we're going to be able to see the Zeri, first Zeri of the day, is a huge plus. Got nerfed in the most recent patch, but of course we were a patch behind that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be nice to see.
I think we all forget it, because I think it's been pretty much permabanned.
Yeah,
exactly.
So the fact that it got through here, they're basically saying, Neo, we don't know if you're going to play it. And the answer is, well, we're not going to give it over. And of course, you get the Senna pick into it. It has such a range advantage on that matchup that you often see it deal with it, as well as the healing poke that can come through.
And I'm expecting this to be a farming Kench just because of the nerfs that we already talked about to Senna. So it's going to be really fun to be able to see just what the strategy is for FlyQuest. They've been, as a team throughout this split, the type to try and basically focus bot lane. Try anything. Bot lane dives. Obviously, they had the Smite top lane, so I want to see what they're going for.
I just want to bring up, in the Yuumi hover, Dash is just sitting here absolutely
thank God.
his eyes.
I mean, there's probably still going to take
She
something
might
like
still get locked in. The Zeri-Yuumi combination is
so toxic.
Absolutely nuts. She just zooms around teamfights. She zooms around the map. Udyr, another pick that is starting
Another
to
zoomy
creep in.
champion.
Yeah. And here we go. The trio of Zeri, Udyr, and Yuumi.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, they're just gonna be going everywhere.
The thing that surprised me was also combined with the Hecarim ban. That feels like some real advanced scouting. I don't know if they, like, River was telegraphing this on his solo queue play or something, because that is not River's playstyle thus far.
I was a little confused by that too.
Yeah, he's been a very gank-focused jungler, teamfight focused, and these champions really want to focus on clearing quickly. And that's why it's a little surprising. I mean, Udyr is still team-oriented. He's not going to 1v9 the game.
Sure.
But that's some smart looking ahead from FlyQuest if this was kind of their read.
So it's sussing out perhaps the Yuumi as well, right? Because that's a classic champion to be paired up with a Yuumi as well.
Yeah, and it's just great to see Udyr kind of make a resurgence. We saw it initially coming in from
Is it
spot
great?
9. Well, it's great until
I already have
the
one
only
Jet
pick.
on my desk, okay?
It's great until it's the only pick in the
I don't
meta.
need two of them.
For months. So another thing to look out for Dignitas, I mean, they'll always try and put Fake God on a weak side champion, something like Gragas, and try and just focus more on team fights. So would be surprised if that's something that's given to Dig.
So with Victor off the table and Corki already locked in, Emily, my big question that still remains is, are we going to see, for example, the Zoe come out for, no, never mind, that is FlyQuest side. So he'll be playing the Corki. Zoe won't be coming out for Takui.
I mean, but Blue's got a good Zoe too.
Does he?
Yeah.
As good as Takui?
Yeah.
He stole Baron with an injured finger with Zoe, remember? Come on,
with an
man.
injured finger.
True. Another pick that I was thinking about is LeBlanc. The only concern is that if you try and go for a LeBlanc, which is like great with Yuumi, they have a Tom Kench. They have a Tom Kench and Senna that can just block anything, a play like that from happening.
I'm also interested to see where FlyQuest wants to actually go. They have last pick, and people talk about that roaming top Smite strategy being more effective on red side, where you can't then get counterpicked with this really hard farming thing. And so now that they're on red side, they can go ahead, grab their jungler here, and then decide based off what they see from Dig. Whereas Dig is really telegraphing one of these kind of ball comps. It might be Orianna mid for them. It's not a great matchup into the Corki, but if you just want to empower an Udyr and Zeri to speed lead around, that is probably the best option for mid lane.
Well, Lee Sin coming through means that their top laner most likely is going to be that 5th and final pick on the side of FlyQuest. Let's see what Dig decides to pick up here in their 4-5 slots.
I don't know if it's in the pool of blue, but Akali has usually been the pick that you can go into like, you know, Tom Kench compositions, because you can just put down your Shroud in a larger team fight. And
yeah, there's the Orianna hover and lock.
And
the Gragas.
And there it is.
No.
And
No,
looking
you
Gragas.
have to. So,
all right.
what I was going to say is the thing that's annoying about when you're on red side versus the Smite top strategy is if you pick a safe blind, like, you know, the Renekton's, the Gragas, these things, those are the exact things that get punished by this roaming top strat. So you kind of forced into taking a Graves blind or something so that you at least have a little bit of threat if they do want to go that strategy, that you can actually mow down turrets.
So you like this approach, though, from FlyQuest, then, to put Dignitas in that position, to have to take the Graves, and now you at least get a choice in whatever your perfect response is to that pick, and it looks like Aurelia will be it.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, Kumo has been playing a lot of different strategies, but he came up as an aggressive assassin type player, the Akalis and things like that, so it's cool to see him on the Aurelia here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you kind of forget what type of player Kumo used to be, because previously we saw him playing B-side, and then this split thus far, he's been what, Ornn, and then 2 Smite top lanes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is a really interesting call. I kind of like it from FlyQuest because I've been waiting for more North American teams to have faith in their top laner and just be like, you know what? No, we're going with a counter pick that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, and so for me, I personally like the Dignitas composition. I think they can hold the Aurelia on side lane decently well, and I think their teamfight comp is incredibly strong. So I would lean it over for them on the draft here.
Well, Raz has answered the question before I asked it. Small favoritism towards Dignitas, actually, contrary to what Twitch chat there believed right at the end with 53%. Emily, I'll give you the final word before we head to stage.
I also favor Dignitas just because I think Zeri is still broken here.
I actually predicted FlyQuest for this game in our predictions that we submitted them, so.
Same.
And I like their draft too.
Okay, fair enough. A glowing review from Mark Z on the draft phase for FlyQuest. Either way, comps are locked in, teams are loading onto the Rift, and we're out to freaking Kobe for the call.
Thank you very much, and I'm excited to see this game here. 2 teams at 3-1. They have both had stellar splits so far in the LCS. Dignitas, I am seeing a lot of belief behind them. River has been outstanding. The players look really, really good. FlyQuest have had a fairly easy schedule, but to prove they are top teams, hey, beat Dig like this.
Yeah, I'm seeing some belief in Dig behind you. We've got a fan sign. I know for a fact though the fan's gonna be a member of the Dignitas organization, so a little bit biased there. Let's get into this one though. I'm so excited because FlyQuest, you know, it feels like Kumo has done his homework and done all of his chores, and now he gets to play an Aurelia. This is a champion that benefits so greatly from having jungle pressure and looking for kill pressure. I'm super excited to see what FlyQuest's design is around this, because while they have used, you know, like Ornn top, Graves top, not always going with Smite Roamers top, they haven't given a lot of attention up to that side of the map. And if you do that to an Aurelia versus a Graves, then things are going to go much worse than previously, especially because River here on the Udyr with Ghost is a very potent ganker. You can full clear from bottom side up to top, so no surprises here. It's going to be a very, very threatening top side of the map for the side of Dignitas here. And Udyr full clears so quickly, plus with the low cooldown on Ghost, you can just spend that as soon as you move up on the Aurelia. 4 summoners start to get so much pressure in favor of the Graves that if left unattended, this could be very, very scary.
So we are seeing fasting Senna here, support Senna if you want to call it that. This is pretty much the best way to play it ever since they nerfed the soul drop rate. I think you should play here with a melee champion, play her as support, let your other champion get the farm, and going fleet, which gives her a lot of sustain to make sure that she goes equal in the trades. The one thing I do want to bring up as some Senna tech, Airy Scorch. It'll apply both on your Q, which you're going to get through minions. It's really, really, really good poke. You can actually wear down teams with low sustain.
Yeah, I also am a fan of the speed up from the fleet footwork though. And we've seen be pretty effective too. The matchup obviously versus Zeri is quite nice with the added slow on Q now, and you can positioned through minions where she can't shoot through the minions, you can, you get your harassment, you continually farm up souls as the support style that you're highlighting, which is very easy to see by the patch notes which ones you should play, because every time they change the soul drop rate of minions that she kills, it's by an order of magnitude like 10% at least. So big swings and indicators of which one you should play. Currently, right now, swinging much back in favor of the support range. This one's definitely getting a bit more spicy than usual here for the mid lane, so that's going to attract some jungle attention. We see Lee Sin there, Jose hovering a little bit, but Blue's got his wave a little bit easier on his side.
There was, by the way, a hashtag dig win sign behind us. Unfortunately, we never got the camera shot, but there was the dig win sign. That's what Kobe was alluding to when we were talking in the pregame.
That's the same sign that they just showed there.
Yeah, it's bring it back. I want to see, the metagame kind of develop in other dig win signs. I would like to see other takes on it, maybe different outfits, who knows? Just, I want to see that get spicier over time. We were seeing Tukui go for some rather aggressive trades, ultimately takes a pretty early recall to get second longsword, burn the TP back in a lane, and Blue's only going to be on tier for this one, so not bad to be on tier, but obviously, you'd love to try to get lost chaps if you can help it. I believe TP cooldown will not be back up by the time you get that much money, so we'll see what it looks like once those come online, and if the recalls get any special.
And this is something I want to re-highlight for junglers, is the focus on upgrading tier 2 boots, especially for tank-oriented junglers. It is such a DPS clear speed increase because of, yes, the cooldown reduction is so good for champions like Udyr and the majority of tanks, but also the move speed is really, really threatening. That's why you see no hesitation after his first full clear into Scuttle Crab. Go for the deep ward drop off, then recall for your upgrade of your boots, big power spike here, and you can seamlessly full clear again up towards the top side of the map. This is one of the reasons Udyr has come back into the meta. Very prolific for both of the Cloud9 junglers, actually, have both been spamming a bunch of it with the Ghost and power clearing and trying to get that level lead over the more gank-heavy junglers like Lee Sin. So we shall see if, in this case, River is able to do the same and continue on with his very efficient clearing. And you start to look for your invades and stealing away, especially the Raptor camp, because Phoenix is so good at stealing away.
Yeah. Want to point out, it is futures market on the Udyr. Kobe, I know they nerfed the boots cost a while ago. I forget if you need 7 camps or you just can't get it all on 7 camps to get cooldown boots. But futures market guarantees you absolutely can, so obviously have to be on that power spike.
Exactly, and that's one of the runes that's really play style enabling. So love to see that used here because it really does have a big influence on how he's going to actually operate here. Scuttle Crab on top side too is very good. Second Scuttle Crab gives you full experience, so should be able to control that one as well as move up on a... Whoa, he's actually not sticking around for it. I guess he just doesn't... Okay, cancels recall. There you go, River. He's going to stay in place with the extra vision as well secured for the constant pushing for Graves on top side. Where he has to start worrying, though, is this level 6 mark? That's where Aurelia starts to have kill pressure, and you have to wonder if Lee Sin starts to get up here, if you get any early vision on him, then, the kill pressure on Graves is actually very real, even with 2 AD champions.
Scuttle is the one camp where the gold value scales with respawn, scales with level, so it's worth more and more and more as you do it, compared to, say, like a red buff where the XP goes up but the gold does not. So definitely a really big deal for anyone trying to get into jungle a bit more is the Scuttles are the single most important camp you can take from an income perspective above everything else in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the reputation of Scuttle was tarnished a lot in preseason with taking 80% of the experience out of the first spawn. Yeah. But those were the only Scuttles that were hit, so you still should have a very high priority on consecutive Scuttles as they continue to spawn through the game. Obviously, also, it's unique in nature where it doesn't, have any threatening properties, and you can, smite and heal and stuff off of it very, very well. We're already seeing the Yuumi jump on the Udyr. This is something where you can have very, very aggressive positioning. They're moving in and trying to clear out this kind of highway around towards the bottom side of the map. First Dragon was given over to FlyQuest, but they don't want to let that start stacking.
I want to shout out, very smart choice. Johnson Executioner's calling first item. I think it's actually very intelligent against champions who heal. Keep in mind, Neo has 700 heal. Maybe running for lifesteal runes as well, no guarantee, but obviously there's a Yuumi on your squad, and very frequently Graves buys lifesteal as well, so a pretty relevant pickup here. and we otherwise check in on the other lanes. Blue has actually been winning lanes so far. We heard Mark talk about how the lane shouldn't look that good for the Orianna. However, Blue is doing just fine over there. Top lane skirmishes going pretty close to equal. I think Kuma has more to farm.
I want to shout out this jump over the back of Baron Pit here from Jose. He's going to get around this ward as well. In position for that level 6 Aurelia. Then the ult hit.
Ult backwards, kick, flash in a range. Flashes away from the ulti. Kumo hit the button late and gave Fake God the chance. And now there's a regank. Jose's W going to be up right now. Gets over back towards the wall. Shockwave pulls him right back in. And Blue roams and finds first blood in a red.
I feel so bad for Jose. He does all this work getting up there to try and play off the Aurelia kill pressure. We've been hyping up all game, Freak. And then they don't get the kill in time. They get roamed on. And he pays for it with his life. That not only is going to be the kill over to Blue for the roam on Orianna without giving up the minion wave, by the way, because he had a push, but also the Rift Herald picked up so many rewards for Dig here with just one little bit of counterplay, and the third scuttle also on top side of the map. So well executed just to get around here. They know with the Scryer's Broom being popped, they don't have a lot of time. So you can tell as soon as they do this, as soon as they miss ult, they know they got to get out of there. They start trying to run, but it's just too far away. Stun being used there onto Fake God means he's got nothing for River, who actually has the stun and walks in there with the Shockwave and even able to give over the kill to Orianna, the best possible position. Quite nice there for Dig.
A really nice even small play by River. He lands a stun and then walks to the left and goes, all right, I'm going to place the Shockwave to give maximum distance. He was already screwed, but it was an optimization that just like, look, I should do it. It's free. It's extra power. And you know, well done to River there.
Yeah, and Phase by Shooter has all the move speed to position however you want. No problem.
Kumo does have flash if he needs it. Thankfully, no chem tank done anytime soon, so able to walk to safety, but yeah, danger.
Yeah, the one thing you give up when you do go with this ghost style for Udyr, obviously, is the flash bear slap, the iconic combination. So you're not going to have those surprise ganks, but it's just more efficient because the cooldown for ghost is so low, and you can just get into position as easily for a lot of these plays. Blue, though, now.
Flash almost gets the root, but a flash to safety from Blue keeps him alive. Nice attempt by Johnson there on the Senna roam. Not the biggest roam, the best roaming champion. The CC is nowhere near immediate. And doesn't get the bullets. They're just gonna fall off into nothingness. And 2 fewer stacks for Johnson here.
Yep, blue buff remains here on Tukoi, though. The accuracy from his rockets as well. The early level ones not doing too much to blue, trying to shug them off. But right back into this vision game. The roams already up towards top side have been effective. And Biofrost working along with River will be able to keep this route clear as well. I will say, though, it's much more, all this vision coverage is about controlling for dragon setups. Senna Tahm Kench is extremely difficult to pull off the ganks. Obviously, Aphromoo here has his ultimate, has the Devourer ready, and he's got flash as well. So even if Johnson is up far, he can Devour and he can keep himself safe, no problem. So, Dragon setup done. Yeah. Dragon arrival prepared here for a Dig. Should be pretty easy for them to finish this one off. Objective control is a really big component of picking Udyr here. You want to try and snowball off of keeping your experience lead through power clearing and focusing on those objectives. So, getting right back on track.
Yeah, looking pretty good right now. Dragons 1-1, gold basically tied. Flag with a momentary lead right now. And as the team comes down, this could be a big play. It's going to be root onto River. This could absolutely be a big play. Ult comes in from Zeri. Ulti across the top. Package hits couple right now. River getting low. And otherwise, Neo trying to run away. Tanks the rock as best he can. They're rocking out, and they're going to stay alive for a moment. Will there be a dive, though? They can push the wave in. And they could go for round 2 here once they get the minions down there. But Neo all the way back to full HP. Thank you to a Summoner Heal. Thank you to Biofrost. And it's going to be Dignitas staying alive.
Yeah, so Tukoi, when he arrives, the package, only the tip of it hits River. They didn't actually get to touch Neo with it, and he was still full life. And then he uses the combo with the Frost Bomb on him instead of trying to take down River, who is the one who had sustained damage. So split focus on the damage output. Up in the air whether they still would have actually been able to 100% it and find that kill onto River, but not really focused on the DPS output down there on that play either. Means they don't get anything back for the potential pick on the Dragon.
No plays. sadly. 1-0, tied again in Dragons, and we see TP backing out of the top lane. This is the buff Blade of the Ruin King on Aurelius. Wants to fight again. Good dodge by Fate God goes up, and River is here yet again. Be careful, that is a summoner, or a summoned Herald. There's the Ruin King trigger, but otherwise looks like that's just 2 plates. And by the way, that is all money going specifically to River. It is not going to be shared towards Fate God, so Udyr's going to be nice and rich. That's all well and good. And this is the last bit there, but whatever. 320 gold picked up to River. For, another 100 for killing the Herald a little while ago.
Yeah.
So decent surge of money.
And you can't be caught waiting around, for opportunities to pop that as Udyr. You got stuff to do, okay?
Yeah.
You've got a long list of camps to clear for Udyr. Keep up your power clearing. It's essential for the champion. He goes back after cashing in on the Rift Herald, plus finishing off Gromp, completes the Turbo Chem tank, baby. So this is the first big power spike for Udyr after the boots pickup. Now he's got Turbo Chem tank ready. Yuumi on his back.
Yeah.
The engage is so easy to get a perfect Yuumi ultimate. With all the move speed, you can reposition it very, very easily. And with Johnson's flash still not up and then pushed up, this is a prime target.
Johnson afraid of getting jumped on as they realize, okay, this ward's being swept out. I believe it was control ward and sweeper, so they knew they were coming. It wasn't just they attacked the disabled ward. They put that stuff down themselves. So back up, put the haste down, quick ward. Okay, we're pretty safe. Jose Diodo's in the pocket. All right, great. We're out of this one, no problem. But how much does Neo get done to the 1v2 in bottom lane right now? He's going to be able to get his recall if he wanted it safely. Wants to play for the tower. Keep in mind, plates have now fallen, so towers take full damage, functionally true damage, and it's going to be pretty big hits here as Johnson gets a couple of shots through. Is going, by the way, towards the Kraken Slayer build most likely. Double longsword plus pickaxe is in that build. I think there are other options you could go for, but that's the build path it looks like anyway.
Meanwhile, hunting around here, Jose waiting in the shadows.
Big damage to the blue. He's going to land. That could be a kill. And he just comes right in and knocks them down. Didn't necessarily need the ward hop flash kick. I think the Q follow would have killed, but well done. Jose Diodo knocks him down, and now a fight in the top side. Kumo, once again, a great sidestep on the stun. Fake God playing it well, but will he be tower dove? Channels the W in the face of the ulti, walks away with a health bar lead. Bot lane turret falls, and FlyQuest come alive.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because Jose's thinking there, he doesn't want to get flashed further in and then get stuns between the 2 turrets. So goes for the feint play there, and then immediately falls, flashes up, insta-kills blue. No chance for the flash pull under. And with bottom lane going so well for them, again, we're pretty big fans of the Senna pick into the matchup here, constant pushing.
Yeah.
Being able to get that top tower, or the bottom tower down before recalling for the reset here and to rotate over is definitely going to allow FlyQuest the rebuttal after Rift Herald number 2 is picked up for Dignitas.
You can see Neo going for the earlier spiking build. Going for the Trinity Force is going to make him very, very strong at 1 item. Doesn't scale quite as well as Crit. Keep in mind, in 12.3, there were also changes that pushed her toward better scaling with Crit and worse late game with a Bruiser build. Ult rank up being one of those variables there. Still, again, a build that I prefer in 12.3. 12.4, by the way, very close to the 2. Well done, August, for the changes there. But yeah, on the optimal build, just note that, I'd probably take Senna late game over Zeri in this kind of game state.
And we are only 20 seconds away from the next dragon, so you see Dig move everybody over already. Corki's going back to base right now. Takui, don't think he doesn't have a package waiting for him, so it's just going to be a rotation down from the top side, and
Here we go. Great kick, though. Really no way for to play that one. Always going to be kickable if he's in melee range, but they're trying again for round 2 here, still running really fast. And look at that. Kumo holds on to a stun, but it might be enough positioning. It might be enough taken away as we're seeing a recall out of the Corki. Enough work was done to claim the dragon, it looks like, as maybe a skirmish over the top side. Tukui does have TP. Looks like he's claiming package right now. And it doesn't get burned, actually. Now he's going to be back to full power, so Dignitas may have wasted the small room they had to sneak dragon.
Yeah, that was such a good delay from FlyQuest, because I looked over, mouse over the base, and FlyQuest were trying to buy time for the package to come up for this dragon. Remember, Corki, the timer was increased a full 5 minutes between packages. And so they actually buy that time with Jose jumping around in the river, chasing them through. They delay it enough, and as soon as you hear the package picked up, the alert goes out. Dignitas say, okay, fine. We were not quick enough, and we seed dragon number 2.
And mid lane tower number 2 may be dropping as well. Corki's already on a flank play with a package. Now was spotted by a ward, so they know he's waiting. There's no chance Dig tries to defend that one. Yeah, that ward, he touched the brush and didn't, kind of clean it away, that turret's going to fall, and you can still go for Neo. Like, legit, I think he's almost killable here. Fake God even with there, I think he can still honestly try. They're gonna go for the Q play, gonna try to find what they can. Ult's run away, and Tuku's gonna Valkyrie right back out, but the burst damage could be enough, and he is gonna burn. Biofrost Ignite claims the kill. Well played, Digitas on the counter punch, and now River is in for a bit more. Finds that first low, Kuma could be attacked. Will it be enough is the question. As Senna answers in and finds that kill in the River, thankfully, Vio able to get right back out, but ends up being a 1-for-1.
They don't bring the Orianna with this, so they still get fought up, and Afro back in!
You're gonna try again. It is 4v3. Keep in mind, so this should be possible. Gordon heal works well for Jose Diodo. Afro flashes in. Jose follows the Q, and he finds kill number 2. Kill number 3 is gonna be a freebie. Biofrost will die for the blind. He is light. Jose Diodo sets up 2 more kills.
Dignitas fumble. You see the idea there, Freak. The call was delay these, force the fight so that I can split push. Orianna does get 2 towers pushed down, secondary tower and inhibitor tower, but it costs them the lives of every other member of their team. That is so much gold back over into the hands of FlyQuest, and Jose's the one picking up all the kill credit here.
Really, really, really well done. Rocket flip this one's replay. Huge setup here as they close it all out to get these last few kills.
Yeah, the original disengage there from Neo was so good with Biofrost. Keeps him up with the heal. They barely have enough damage with the Ignite still ticking. It's the secondary engage here from River, where he takes a lot of damage on the output, and they still had Aurelia ultimate, so they focus fire him down. Jose goes back in. They get the execution. And then they're saying, we can stop them. We're going to allow Orianna to keep pushing, but Afro move. Yep. Notice player in the LCS, goes for the re-engage, hits the W, and even with the Yuumi healing, they are able to eke out enough damage to find that execute. Jose, these Qs are point and click, Freaky, hits every single sonic wave and picks up every single kill.
Yeah, Executioner first item. Well done, Johnson. Correct itemization. Afro, you mentioned, turns 30 this year. The man's going to be, I believe, the first 30-year-old LCS player. Love to see it, honestly.
Still got it, baby.
Birthday in September, so would have to make playoffs, I believe, to make that one happen, and, walk up to Worlds as a 30-year-old. Sounds pretty good. Diodo being his way out, no problem, and FlyQuest on their way to a 4-1 record, tying first if they could win this game. Blue still on the side lane, getting what he can on those lanes, has knocked down, I think, 3 turrets single-handedly. One of them being an inhibitor turret, so a lot of money onto him, which means it's going to be on him a lot to carry these team fights.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest are in a really good position now. Double stack dragons because they were able to delay off the other package last time around. They got so much money off these last kills that it's now 2 item leads in. Black Cleaver picked up for Jose. He can help shred resistances even on frontline. It's going to be interesting too because they even have options of picking up the split pusher. Hullbreaker does give you a lot of extra resistances, but if they're able to shred those in the 2v1 with Aurelia, that is killable and puts the Grave split push in a little bit more precarious of a position, especially if FlyQuest can control this next dragon. Only 1 minute and 15 seconds, and look at the vision control and all the effort FlyQuest are putting out in setting up this objective.
There we go. Mid lane turret a bit low. Dragon number 3 for FlyQuest. They can make this one happen. 1 minute away. Nice try on the Q. Neo sidesteps it, dodging bullets. See if someone can go to his level. Maybe an AG Smith can make it look a little bit nicer in the sequel. And 5-2 in kills, 52 seconds till Dragon comes up, and wave control seems to belong to FlyQuest here. Aurelia on the back foot top side, takes a pretty weak wave and is going to slowly push it back up now. TP not available, but Fake God has it, so that's going to be pretty important. Kumo gonna have to get out soon if he wants to help his team play for Dragon. Otherwise, they're going to toss it. They track cooldowns. Can force a 5v4.
It's interesting, yeah, because they invested so much effort in taking over full vision control of this red quadrant, whereas you can see Dig moving up into the river over here, allowing for a pathway down, and even threatening around, picking up Scuttle Crab by Baron, trying to clear out as much as they possibly can before the arrival. 10 seconds though? Yeah, his team cannot immediately start this dragon. They actually have to wait for him.
Yep. He would be 20 seconds late counting channeling time. That is the window right now. 20 seconds starting right now is how much time Dignitas will have until he walks down or can finish a TP down.
FlyQuest do have a lot of range to work with, though. They've got quirky rockets, and they have Senna here throwing out snares. So the team can buy time, and Dig are not able to brute force their way in before the arrival. Tukoi with this blue buff on Corki, constantly throwing out these rockets.
And he's going to recall for the late pack. Once again, that's the timer on this one. So trying to burn it down, and it's going to be claimed. 5-minute cooldown on package means Dragon's up. I recall late.
The fight after.
TP. Is there a fight? That's the question. Yes. Corki's there with package in the face of absolutely everybody. It's got to be a good one. He's going to be unstoppable. Only hits the Graves, but buys a lot of time. Could have maybe dove through the team. Chose not to, as after going to lead the front line. Needs a shield. Pops it. But he's just going to get burned all the way down. FlyQuest really did not maximize damage or target selection. Just kind of give him up for dead.
You'll love to see it. Actually, this is the exact intended change from the designers on the increase in time for package. So you cannot chain package pickups for these objectives. Full 5 minutes spawn on Dragon, and FlyQuest trying to get the fight afterwards, cutting them off, but not quite in position to do it, and not a big enough lead to actually burst them down, even with Afro trying to do all the tanking here.
Yeah.
Good job by Dig. They pulled back, and since they are effectively...
If you packaged right, I think you just kill everybody. But no one can get fake cut here.
He's wary of the burst damage as he packages forward, probably. But there's no hope if they just cut it off there. There's not enough time to bring the rest of the members over. You see the focus fire from FlyQuest trying to get there in time, and they just don't have the DPS.
I just feel like if you're willing to TP in for the post-fight, and there's 4 people grouped up, you are guaranteed like 1.5 seconds of package DPS just by tagging them with it. That's like 1,000 damage by hitting W once, and you still get Valkyrie afterwards. You're unstoppable during package, you're then out of range, they're CC'd, you get out of range, you have a Hex Drinker. Like, I think that play works 100% of the time.
There's 2 kinds of Corkis in this world, Freak.
Yeah, me and bad ones.
Yeah, he did have a Hex Drinker as well in inventory for a little bit of extra safety. So, we'll see about the review on that one, but we know how it turned out in this game, and Dignitas are happy with it.
Alrighty, still a fun game ahead of us. 2.3K, FlyQuest are in the lead. They've done a pretty good job of this one. A 30 CS lead for Kumo in the top lane as well, though matching Fake out of the bottom. Going to look for a play here. Reset off the cast minion, but again, Fake out very good at sidestepping these Aurelia stunts. Either playing the mind game well or just being out of range of the recast. Either way, generally not getting stunned. Johnson is going for that crit build, as we mentioned. But we'll give him high DPS, lower burst, and now it's the bottom river that they are playing for. Keep in mind, Aurelia has control, so the team can give him wards. That means he won't be gankable down there.
And Blue's back to a split push mission, Freak. This is the hardest split push Orion we've seen in a while. He's chugging away. He exposed this inhibitor previously, and it's up to FlyQuest to try and send people back. He actually draws 2. This is very, very effective here when you can go split push, force 2 people to answer you like that recall. FlyQuest have to cede entire control of the map here, and that allows Dig to move in and take away so much of this work that FlyQuest just efforted in getting all these wards down. Blue going to be paid the price here as well with the steal.
All right, yep, that is a blue buff taken. Sadly doesn't get to go to blue, but it's going to go on to river, and that's good enough.
Oh God, here we go.
We're back to the Who's on First skit. I mean, it was really inspiring. I thought, you know.
All right, what about the defense on this turret, though?
It's going to stay alive for now. That health bar at half, but I mean, the thing is, FlyQuest do have pretty good wave clear, and Dignitas, I mean, they don't have the most range. Like, Neo's Q is 700 range, so it is still one of the longer range turret hitting buttons. So, you know, Zeri's decent at it. Your E is instant cast. You can kind of play at max range Q, E away from, you know, most meaningful CC. So it's not that hard to play around. The only difficulty is, like, well, Senna's going to auto you the whole time, and you don't want to take more than 2 autos doing that. So if the defense is there, it can be tough to get things done. And Neo just going for the Hurricane build and knocking down waves.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that we're about to run into is the range advantage, because Johnson continually stacking up these souls just to become more and more of a threat. Tukui now, he's got his transformed Muramana with the Luden and Sorksu. So the 2-item Corki power spike is here, even though it gets delayed a little bit by picking up Hex Drinker in a lot of these situations.
Yeah.
The poke and range here from FlyQuest will be real at the next Dragon. Number 3 is going to be soul point for either of these teams. 35 seconds left on it, and this time around, Tukoi does have Unleashed Teleport still on the top side.
You can see Blue plays around the fact that he's got absolutely zero vision, no deep wards. Dignitas has not been allowed to play in the top set of the map whatsoever, so he has nothing to track if someone's coming up to him, so has to play that wave really far back.
And again, you're in this kind of delay game because the package was picked up. Never mind, we have to kick right back out, disengage. The package was picked up after the last dragon was killed, so you have to delay a lot after the arrival of this dragon. And Dig know that if they rush it down, they should be able to get it there. So you see him waiting patiently.
That's nice and everything, but is there going to be a play? Blue's going to spot Aftermoo. Thick skin, may have to be burned pretty soon. Has to flash the shockwave. TP now in with package, but they are in for this one. Thick skin should be back up in a second, but Afro going to let it regen now instead. Ulti back for Fake God, wants to stay alive. Is able to do so as Kumo puts in a bit of damage, but is holding on to his ultimate. So now it is FlyQuest with the inside track. We know that Johnson can pump in heals, and Tukui has himself a huge amount of damage. Big one, plus Ludens is half HP off of Neo.
That's that 2-item Power Spike Corky, baby. Level 16 means a lot for him as well. The last rank. Dragon being burned down while the rest of them try and poke. And Fake God is leading the way in.
Should be an easy smite. There we go. Gonna claim it for Dragon number 3 out of FlyQuest. Kicks backward for a double knockup. Is it enough damage? River is low. River cannot jump the wall. And River will die in his namesake. A second kill picked up as Kumo dives in and knocks down Graves.
That's Baron. That's got to be Baron as well for FlyQuest. They rout Dignitas. No top laner, no jungler. They got the Dragon already, and they can move on over to the big bad Baron.
Even though Death Cap was in inventory, Dignitas could not find their way in that fight. Pack wasn't even burned there. It was just, they're playing for mid. It was too late to play for Dragon, and the team fight was all screwed.
They tried to use Shockwave on Afromu, who has Flash and is Tom Kench as well.
Yeah.
So even best case scenario, that's not super high value. FlyQuest, great punish this time around. They were able to scale their Corky. Big advantages coming from those poke chunks that he gets. Rushing down on the Dragon, but then the team fight afterwards, I mean, there's no hesitation. Jose, he's like, what are you doing inside my Dragon pit? Just look at the turn after they get the objective. He smites it down, then right against the wall with the team split, kick through 2, Q in onto him as well, and Johnson's able to land the snare too, so absolutely demolished both of them.
The team was already split. The other 3 were running into their own jungle to come around the backhand side, and it's like, so Udyr and Graves are literally always dead. You might get the smite, but you're losing 2 every single time. It looked weird, miscoordination, sadly, for Dignitas. What if it was going to happen for that team at some point? That one looked a little weird, and now Red Bull Baron power play, 2,000 gold lead. FlyQuest should get a lot out of this.
This game has big implications as well, with FlyQuest and Dignitas at this cross-section in the standings, both sitting 3-1, trying to leverage themselves into the upper standings. Whoever wins this game is going to be in a very comfortable position here in spring, moving past that halfway mark. So FlyQuest looking really promising here, as Baron buff will allow them to easily 4-1 split push, crack the top secondary turret in addition to mid lane, taking a bunch of damage here while they just abuse this extra range with the Corky, with the Senna, very safely harassing while Aurelia finishes up top side turret.
Well done. 4-1 split looks really nice. River may be looking for a target, but now it's going to be done right now. Looks like Kumo wants to finish an item. Probably has a full completed something. Maybe a Death Dance, maybe a GA, and he can TP back in when he needs to. But right now, well, they've already got the top lane pushed in, so bring the team over, go for the turret. Turret's going to fall, no problem at all. Well done, FlyQuest. Get turret number 6. They are on Soul Point. That's in 2 minutes and change. Barrel timeout by then, but Dignitas in the meantime realize they are not powerful enough to fight against a Baron buff, especially with Graves counter-juggling into the side of the map. So, a few turrets given away. Dignitas know they can't really fight. That's okay. Give up what they have to. They take what they can with a cross map, and with bot lane pushed in, that is now answered by Kumo as well.
All right, nice resets here. Get to spend so much money. So many item power spikes, actually hitting 3 items now for the FlyQuest members. Corky fully upgrading Maw, Lee Sin doing the same. That item is really efficient now with the extra buffs. And honestly, shrugs off so much of this magic damage. Yes, there is a little bit of penetration picked up here by Blue. Has the crystal baby item, looking for the Void Staff, but this is going to be FlyQuest right back out onto the field with the Baron. 15 seconds left on it, so it won't sustain for the secondary push here, but easily lets them take control of red quadrant of the jungle preemptively before the Dragon Soul arrives.
1:15. And it's nearly the death knell if it comes through. FlyQuest want to own this bottom jungle. They get rid of most of the wards. They put some of their own down as well. As the shopping comes in, we look for probably a Guardian Angel on Tukui. A couple of souls here for the Senna. Q's through a couple. Thank you very much. Would like a soul count when we get the chance to. I'm going to guess around 80.
I got you. We got 142.
Woo! That is more than 80.
142 for
That's a lot of
Johnson.
stats.
Feeling nice about his extra range.
The observer clicks over, but we've got the inhibitor timer, so we.
He's got
I don't get it off the program feed.
740 range currently.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Talk about that abuse. You know, the Corki rockets, he's level 18, fully maxed out. Those things are painful. The Senna extra range comes through too. And look at this. They've established full vision control over that red quadrant leading up to the soul. So as previously they had to delay for a lot of these dragon fights, trying to buy time for the package to arrive. But now they've got such a handle on this jungle quadrant that it's very easy for them to ward off Dig.
Especially with the vision they've got. And now as River walks in, he's on one of those, and a couple of blue triggers pop. Those decay, and Jose Dito just gets some damage out. Sees, can I force any cooldowns? But once again, it's that same awkward timing. Tukui's got to take his recall, grab the package, TP back in, and FlyQuest have to sit there. And knowing they're 4v5, knowing they're trying to buy some time, and timer ticks down. 3, 2, 1. Hey, I got it right. That was a guess. And grabs it for the TP to get back in there.
All right, teleport comes through. 5K on the Dragon. They should be able to delay enough. The package has arrived. FlyQuest have so much power here. Dig are scrambling.
It would be soul for FlyQuest. Dignitas can't allow this one to go away. Once the package come down, he can nuke the backline right now. That's smited by Jose Diodo. Package hits nobody except to zone out Fake God. But that might just be enough. Neo wants in, but against Dragon Soul, it's going to be tougher. Damage on Akumo down to 1K health. Can Neo do the rest? Jumps right back in. Tom Kench saves one, runs for safety, spits him back out. Half HP, but healing back up now is going to be enough. TP to get back to top lane because minions are inside the base. They're inside the base, going to end the game. Dignitas could be shut out right now. It's really a push in the wave.
They can't even get back to their own base. The rest of the team has them zoned. Kumo with the teleport. Extra pressure comes through, but they can cut the minion wave, Freak. Mid lane minion wave being cut right now by Dignitas, trying to buy some time.
Healing back up. I don't think he can win the 1v1 quite at this point, but if he lands the stun, it looks a little bit closer. 4v4 in the mid side, looking pretty decent. Decent damage, though, and actually on the wrong side. Dignitas are on the other side of the map, have nowhere to easily go. And as mid wave is pushed down, this means they can push for mid if they want to.
Yeah, recalls will go off. They lost control of the minion wave. FlyQuest
like this.
Turn their sights towards Baron instead. Off those recalls, I don't think there's enough time to rush out here. I mean, they do have some of the fastest champions, though. Udyr and Yuumi. So they're running straight for it.
They're going to try a blue trigger once again. Reveals what's going on. 10,000 health left on Baron. Burning it as fast as they can. Fake God's here. River's waiting around.
Got to turn.
Vision's going to be kind of rough. The blue trinket's going to live for now. So Fake God actually able to kind of bully his way in and knock this one out. But keep in mind, top wave is still pushing down. Now, no TPs are up for FlyQuest. Afro could taxi one of them, I suppose. And with his ulti and W, you can get about 1,200 range or so. But the King of House taking some of the vision back. Jiro checks and says, actually, they're on this. So might be a play. Now, blue is in the base taking waves. Can TP if needed. Flash ult comes in for Kumo. Good damage out of Fake Guy. Try to knock him down as we can. Sentinel come over the top as well. And now they're going to find that first execution. Down goes Udyr. 5v4 on the map, and FlyQuest with the gold lead just take any fight they want.
Yep, FlyQuest, the patience here pays off. Sticking around, they cancel recalls multiple times, ward over the back from Jose. They know they've got this game in the bag as long as they don't let a sneak occur. And so they assassinate the enemy jungler. You know, River gets kicked back in. There's no hope for the steal. Just checkmate there from FlyQuest. Nicely done.
Well done. Baron number 2 claimed. 7,000 gold lead nearly, plus the Mountain Soul. So much does FlyQuest win this game and keep that tie for first at 4-1. They were the longest running undefeated team. Even after the loss, they stayed in first. They'll keep up with 100 Thieves with the win here. Yeah. Looking really, really good for FlyQuest.
It's huge for them. You know, we're approaching 5 games in on Spring Split, and to have only 1 loss for this lineup, which was so heavily criticized, you know, so many components that people are unsure about, and yet they've come together in such a strong way here in spring, showing that they are also not one-dimensional. They have played Oh, never mind. We might have the engage.
Attempted stun, great sidestep by River. Gonna find that first one to Kumo. Channeling the W, takes absolutely no damage at all, though. And Jose didn't want Sin, has to burn a stopwatch, not be Shockwave, but can he live? Jumps back and into waiting arms and mouth of Afromu, saves his life. But Kumo also has a stopwatch to stay alive. Very, very low health bar. Once again, Jose is in. 2 for 1 so far. What a team fight. And it's time for him to die yet again. He is dried up. And that's going to be at FlyQuest now in the 4 versus 2 to push into the base. Baron buff still on to end the game.
They're not done yet. Aftermove W in, lands the Q for the slow, but no chase comes through. Baron buff means they will lay waste to the inhibitors.
And that's got to be enough. It took them a while, a 38-minute game, but you have to believe the Gitas cannot defend this one 2v4. The flash to safety, still attack, still put down. Jose Diodo gets another one on the board. 7 kills on the Lee Sin. 100% kill innovation. A tower dive to send the message. That's what you love to see. FlyQuest remain in first place.
And Jose is in the house. Oh my goodness, absolutely demolished in the face of this Udyr pick that is gaining so much hype. Goes power farm. Jose picks his Lee Sin and absolutely demolishes this game. So many clutch smites, clutch kills from him, even after the gank on top side gets turned around on him. He has to pay his life as payment for circumventing all of that vision and getting the gank off. They absolutely deserve this win. FlyQuest 4-1, up there at the top.
FlyQuest in first place. You love to see it. Well done to the squad. I feel like everyone chipped in a lot there. I thought Kumo